Primal Fear. Um, Edward Norton in top form. He, in fact, is nominated for the role he plays in this movie, which is actually a double act, double role. Roy, he plays Roy, and Aaron. Martin Vale, Richard Gere, is played by Richard Gere. Is the lawyer that defends Aaron, or is it Roy? Maybe both. We'll see. There's a high-flying lawyer that we see in action in the first scenes, reminding some maybe of the jokes connected with lawyers in America that don't yet have that status here. Maybe we're getting there with some high-profile figures defending mafiosi and thus getting some of the bad press and bad image through association. But in America, there's this one I find interesting because it seems to summarize the opinion, bad image lawyers have. So it goes something like this. Scientists have decided to stop using lab rats for experiments and use instead lawyers. There are 3 reasons for that. There's my lab rat there, doing crazy things. Let's hope he's not destroying everything. 3 reasons. First, there are not enough lab rats. Second, people get attached to rats. And third, and very telling maybe, there are some things even rats won't do. In this story, in this film, it's a bit different because the lawyer, aka Richard Gere, decides to take the case of Aaron for all the good reasons, maybe. It is a high-profile case, and that might have to do with it. Maybe that's all there is to it. No, I'm just. And anyway, his client may be playing some games, as in games people play. Classical psychology, in particular transactional analysis. And maybe the game here is, no, I've got you, you son of a bitch. Which is one of the games we play. It says people, it means we, and it's psychological games actually. The way we try and position ourselves, gain something, blame others, and so on. So, what is it? A bishop? Oh, no, cardinal is too much, but an important figure in the hierarchy in the church. It's killed, and not just killed. He's killed viciously, multiple cuts, stabs at the eyes, at the sexual organs, and everywhere. And the prime suspect, the main suspect, is Aaron, a choir boy who was taken off the streets where he was begging by the clergy, and apparently is a very vicious act of ungrateful, vile monster. During the trial, as we can expect, to make the film more interesting, but by the way, it was criticized. I remember one critic saying very cleverly, sometimes that reading the critic is more rewarding than the film, because you have very good, very clever critics that you should consult, you should read and follow, not watch this silly note. But you don't, so I mean, if few who do. And he was saying something like the studio, the producers, ask critics not to reveal the twist, the fantastic twist that takes place. And I don't have the words anyway, but it's this damn finale that ruins the film, something like that. And some Rolling Stone, I think, gave it 15 out of 100. That's a disaster. I mean, it's not just a failed movie. It's a bomb. I mean, total failure. So, what we think? Well, we're not too happy with it. I don't know if it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. In particular, Edward Norton is remarkable. The reason why he was nominated for an Oscar, which is especially remarkable considering that the film was not. This is the only nomination for the film. And if we see the film as failed one, it's even more extraordinary for Edward to shine in such a context when everything else is more or less negative. So there are aspects which we learn. In fact, the clergy was not really such a kind, gentle, so positive a man. On the contrary, he was associated with some land deals that would cause a lot of trouble for the poor and so on. Plus, he was a pedophile. We found so many in the church, alas, over the past years. I mean, it was discovered. They've been doing it for a long time. Now it's clear, decades. And not all, but too many, anyway, of them. And Aaron could have been the victim of the man that allegedly saved him, taking him from the streets and feeding him, but then also abusing him. It's more complex than that, and one shock that we have with the lawyer is that within Aaron there are two people. There's Aaron and there's Roy. He has a multiple personality disorder. And that's case two, the evil and the good. And it may be Roy that killed the bishop. Or are they two? Is it just one? Is it an illusion? Is it, well, you have to watch the movie and see. That would be the conclusion, but I don't know if you have to, because according to the Rolling Stone and some others, it's really something you should avoid. So maybe I should tell you. Well, if you ask me, I will. So maybe we'll have a comment on top of the one we had recently. I was called an idiot because I said I boycott Mulan because the actress in the leading role supports with the tweet with something on the social media, the intervention of the Chinese authorities, the communists in Hong Kong. And I still see the consequences of communism here in our land, and I hate that. And I said whatever her name is, Wang Wong, which this guy said, you're an idiot, that's racist. Well, I didn't know the name. I don't want to know the name, not because I disconsider her as a Chinese, as Asian, as another race, or I don't have a problem with that. In fact, I've read that results for Chinese and others are indicative of their superiority, if you will. I mean, they're much better than me, never mind me, us in general, at so many things, maths and so on. And they have a culture, in their education, in their tradition. There's a problem, you work for it. It's in Outliers by the classic Malcolm Gladwell. There's much more on this theme. So, in other words, if anything, I see them in a way as superior to me and us. So that's not, I mean, I'm not racist. I don't like the fact that she is supporting the communist regime. And with that, that's why I don't know, and I don't care what her name is. I will not follow. I will not see her work, and it's anyway a trend. I protest. I don't want to see Mulan. True, maybe I wouldn't see it anyway because I don't care for cartoons and films that are cartoons with people. But that's another story.